I get asked a lot on how people can improve their push-ups. So the push-up is a great upper body strength exercise, also working the core, and then if you're in a full push-up position, you're getting a full body workout. And the best way to improve your upper body strength then is to use a push-up, and the best way to improve your push-up is to do a push-up. But you need to find the right modification. So in my classes, I find that this is definitely one of the exercises we have to spend a lot of time on improving technique. And we'll go through all of that. I'm not going to go through all the anatomy and physiology. I've done quite a few posts on shoulder stabilization and improving the upper body posture. And this exercise really works on the shoulder scapular stabilizers, and it works on opening out through the front of the chest, and it really does work on that upper middle back posture. But you've got to get the right technique to start with. So if I'm teaching a class and I do a standing warm-up, regardless of anybody's level, before we get down on the floor to do our push-ups, if I'm including them in my class that day, I'll get everybody to do some push-ups against the wall. Now, normally in a push-up, the position for the hands is just slightly wider than the shoulders, either side, hands either side of the ribs, with your fingers more or less in line with your shoulders. Now, this is quite narrow, and some people work with them even narrower. This is quite narrow, and a lot of people find it puts some pressure on their shoulders, and we need to take great care of these rotator cuff muscles. So I tend to get people to start nice and wide, and then we can build from there. So standing a little way away, making sure that the mat isn't going to slip away, making sure that you're not wearing socks, for example, on a slippery floor. You want to make sure that your feet are able to grip the floor, and you want to stand about half a metre away, very much depending on your height. You can always move closer, you can always move further back. So let's take the hands nice and wide then. And your hands are either side of the ribs, fingertips more or less in line with the top of the shoulder. Check your neutral alignment. If you can't keep the heels down because of short, tight calf muscles, that's fine. You can come up onto your toes. But this is another benefit of this exercise. You get a bit of a stretch there. Engage the core muscles. Feel the shoulder blades against the rib cage. And then slowly start to bend the elbows, bring the body forward all in one line. Feel the shoulder blades gliding towards each other. And then you push away and feel the shoulder blades glide apart. And as you do this, you should feel the muscles across the chest, the front of the shoulders, the arms, your core, between the shoulder blades. All of those muscles, you should feel them working. And then you have the serratus anterior, and these are the muscles either side of the ribs around about this area, and they can kind of look like angel wings, if you like. Sort of they fan out, and they help stabilize the shoulder blades. So standing against a wall is a really good starting position, and you can try it with your hands closer. Again, get that position, get that alignment, coming down, feeling the shoulder blades squeeze together, and then pushing away. Now from there you could move to, once you feel confident with that, you could move to, say, your kitchen worktop. Again, make sure you're far enough back, and that's where you may want to put some trainers on so that your feet will grip the floor, and by that stage you'll be far enough away that your heels will be up, and then you come down and up. You could, of course, use a windowsill. I have a bench seat here, so I could use the bench seat. Another great way to move on from the bench or the windowsill or the kitchen worktop is to use your stairs. Now, I can't show you this because my stairs are closed in, but you could be on your knees with your hands on the second step, get your body in a nice straight line, coming down and pushing back up, progressing down to the first step. Or if you want to then move on to full push-ups up on your toes, you could come up onto your toes, place your hands maybe on the fourth step and work your way down the steps, and that will take you then then up to a full push-up position. In the studio, quite often you will have steps for step aerobics. Just put the step on the highest level and work your way down. And then we come to the floor, modifications on the floor. So now we're on the floor, 3 positions really. We've got the box position, we've got the half push-up, and then we've got a full push-up. You might want to have a couple of blocks handy. And of course, if you do have a step, you can use a step now that you're down on the floor. So I'll show you what it should look like. Just be aware of where the shoulder blades are. They should be flat against the rib cage. Be aware of where your shoulders are as well. So I'll show you how it should go for a box position, for example, and then I'll show you what you will quite often see or what you will quite often be doing yourself. Hands nice and wide still, nice and spacious, nice long neck, and your chin will be in line with your fingertips, and that's going to be important in just a moment. Get a nice long spine, engage the core muscles. We slowly come down. It feels like you're diving forward, and then pushing down through the fingertips. Feel the shoulder blades start to glide apart as you come back up to the top. So one more time then, feeling the shoulder blades gently squeezing towards each other without collapsing into the shoulder girdle area or the lower back for that matter, and then come back up. So the most common mistake that you will make or that you will see if you're teaching is because it's hard work for the upper body and they don't have the upper body strength. See where my head is now. My shoulders have come right up towards the ears. Quite often you'll see this kind of thing happening as well. So being aware of posture the whole time and keeping that line from the fingers all the way up across the back of the shoulders there and then down to the other side. So from there then you could use blocks. That's going to give them a little bit of a lift. Again, you can have them nice and wide. You can bring the knees closer, that's absolutely fine. Coming down and pushing up. And so from there, it's just a case of moving the knees further and further back with or without the blocks. So if we take a quick look then at a half push-up, that's the knees further back. Scooping up through the belly, get the chin between the fingers, not the wrists. If they feel it in the knees, once they get to this position, they can pull up the knees. Coming down, again, making sure you don't collapse between the shoulder blades. Just feel the shoulder blades gently squeezing together and then feel them sliding apart as you come up to the top. And then from there, a nice full push-up position. Scooping up through the belly again, very slowly, coming down. And then pushing all the way back. And so if you see your students or if you yourself struggle with any part of that, whether it's losing control with the core muscles and allowing your lower back to collapse, or losing control with the shoulder girdle, then you need to move back a level and just practice those 10 of whatever it is, whatever modification you've chosen each day. Then move on to the next level, then move on to the next level, and you will soon have a really good push-up.